Hey everybody, welcome to It Tastes Different Gaming Appetizers. And what are we talking about this time? Well, Atari. I'm talking about Atari here, okay? Just so you all know. This isn't some other group called Atari. This is actual Atari from what we remember from our childhood. And, you know, that they're still around. They're still doing stuff. They have bought a studio. They bought Nightdive Studios for $10 million. Nightdive is coming out with the System Shock remake, which I think comes out in May. They're also responsible for the Turok remake, the Quake remake, and the Power Slave remaster, as well as, I believe, the Shadow Man remaster or remake that they did not too long ago. So the deal's worth $10 million, half payable in Atari shares, and the acquisition is expected to complete by the end of April. It's not... I don't think it's a surprise that Nightdive would get purchased by a larger company. It's odd that Nightdive would get purchased by Atari. I didn't know Atari was in the business of buying developers, but apparently they've decided everyone else is doing it. We might as well do it as well. They welcome Nightdive into the roster of Atari. Nightdive. They say Nightdive's proven expertise and successful track record in commercializing retro IP is well aligned with Atari's strategy, and I'm confident that their combined talent, technology, and IP portfolio will contribute to Atari's future success. That's what the CEO Wade Rosen said in a statement. Right now they remake a lot of older games, right? And they've done a pretty good job of it as well. So the next one is System Shock, which I'm excited for. I love System Shock, and I'm excited to play it in May. This game, System Shock, this remake has been delayed and pushed and changed hands so many times I didn't know if it was going to become a reality. It was actually supposed to come out, I think, before May, but it got pushed back to May. But I believe May is concrete, as far as we know for now, the actual release date for the remake. So I am excited for it. I hope it turns out good. They did have at one point a demo of the remake on Steam, which I downloaded and played a while back, and it looked really good, played really well. It played like the original System Shock, except for a little bit more accessible, because if you play the old System Shock today, interface is a little hard to get, a little hard to get around. I'm sure it was fine back in the day when it released, but nowadays it's a little difficult to figure out how to get through the menus and do certain things. So luckily with the remake, they clean that part up. But, Sodin said, it doesn't come out till May. So if you played System Shock, you know who that is. Anyway, let's go around and see what everybody thinks about Atari buying Nightdive Studios. Pat, what do you think?
It's Atari and they're remaking old games. That's all I can say. They need to make something new. We all loved Atari, retro stuff, all the old stuff they made. But they need to stay relevant. They need to make more new stuff. They need to branch out. They need to stop building hotels and focus on games. That's all they seem to be doing these days is focusing on their past, right? Atari has done nothing but focus on their past here recently. But recently, I should say, in the modern times, that's all Atari has done is focus on their past. They're just taking everything they did that was popular, re-releasing it in new bundles, creating cool little new versions of the game cartridges that you can buy with standees and posters and t-shirts, and making an Atari hotel. And come on, Atari, make something new so you don't go the way of the dodo. I mean, of course, Nightdive Studios is in their radar, in my opinion, because all they do is remake old stuff or make old stuff new again. And that's what it seems like Atari wants here. Atari wants Nightdive to make them new again. Make me shiny again is what they're saying. We're going to see all those classic Atari games get a remake. Even though I don't know how you're going to remake Pong or any of that stuff, but Nightdive's going to do it for them. It's Pong, The Adventures of the Dot, or anything Atari is going to get a remake now. We know that now. They bought a studio who is competent at remasters. And now every Atari game in the catalog is going to get a remaster. The next 10 years, nothing but Atari remasters and nothing new, which we as fans are going to eat up like candy, unfortunately, because that means they don't have to make anything new. They can just rest on what they've done in the past. Unfortunately, that's Atari, stuck in the past. Don't get me wrong. I love Atari stuff. I like their old stuff, but I played their old stuff. I want something new from Atari. But they don't seem capable of doing anything new that doesn't involve something old. So, be prepared for the Atari's greatest hits remastered. So, I don't know, man. It's hard. It's really hard. I mean, if you could get an original, I guess here's the thing. What are they going to remaster? Are we going to get Atari 2600 titles remastered or Atari Arcade remasters? Which would you prefer to see?
Pitfall.
Pitfalls.
E.T. baby.
You don't want a remaster of like Lunar Command or Lunar Lander or Missile Command, any of those games, Space Duel, Tempest. Yeah, so
Tempest, maybe.
Yeah. So I don't know. It to me is like just make something new. We're gonna get remasters of all that stuff, though. We're gonna get Starship remastered. We're gonna get Sword Quest coming out. We're just gonna get everything, guys. Just be prepared. It's the year of the retro remade anew in the next 10 years. Shane, what do you think, man? I'm not too thrilled about this because I like their games, but I've already played their games. I don't need a remaster, or maybe a new rendition of Michael Take, but not a remaster or a remake. But that's all Nightdive does is remaster remakes.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're gonna get dumped on with remakes, remasters, things like that. I don't think Atari's going to give them a chance to try anything new. And that sucks. I mean, Nick's right. They have done a pretty good job with these remakes and things they've done. But I would like to see new stuff from Atari. I mean, Atari owns like the Alone in the Dark franchise, for instance. There hasn't been one of those for quite a while, if I remember correctly. Last one I remember was 360, and that was pretty good. Not great, but it was pretty good. They were really pimping their Fire technology. I got to quit air quoting. I look like a moron. I don't know. One, I forgot Atari was even around. Two, Nick, you mentioned they were a good fit for Atari's strategy. So they do remakes and hotels. I mean, so I don't know what
Atari does their own hotels.
I don't know what Atari's strategy is. I mean, they brought out the Atari. What was the flashback system they did? The
VCS.
The VCS, yes. Yeah. So that shows you how well that stuck. It's like Atari. They own some really good IPs. Build those. Build new things off of those. Seriously, I mean, Pitfall, for instance. Imagine a really good Pitfall game with today's technology. It doesn't have to be an open world game, but, it could be really cool. A good adventure Pitfall Harry game. I mean, that would be awesome. But, what are they doing? They're doing nothing with it. It's kind of like EA. They buy all these awesome titles and they just piss them away. Stop it. Give me the stuff that, you guys bought because of their excellence and, actually use them. I'm fine with remakes, true remakes like Resident Evil series has done, Final Fantasy. Those are remakes. So if they could do those and do them in those quality, that's fine because most everything Atari owns is old as dirt anyway. So, there's that. But hopefully, they will make quality games for Atari that we actually want to play from, Atari's catalog, Pitfall, hell, even ET. Give me an ET game. We won't have to bury it in the desert, but, Give me an ET game, something new, something fresh. Careful, it might go off. But just anything. But Atari's got to actually have a strategy, because I think that is the biggest bullshit statement Atari's ever said. Part of our strategy, they have no strategy. I cannot believe they are still around. I'm dead honest. I can't believe they have not died off.
Their strategy is make sure somebody doesn't pull the plug on the life support system.
Yeah. Yep. Got to charge my phone. Sorry, Grandpa. It's, I don't know. When you have somebody that owns all these quality, or at least used to be quality IPs, things that I enjoyed, and they don't do nothing with it, it just chaps my butt. And, but hopefully, we'll get some really great remakes of, like Alone in the Dark and things like that. So, Nick, back to you.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, Atari doesn't own those anymore. So THQ Nordic owns Alone in the Dark, and Pitfall Activision owns. So Atari got rid of a lot of their staples. They don't own much of anything other than Pong and
the classics.
The classics, the really old
that's
classics.
All they own.
Yeah. But that's it. When Atari was kind of going through that transition, I think they sold off a lot of that when they were kind of on the way out the door, they sold off a lot of their IPs to other studios and developers and stuff. And now they're trying to make a comeback. They went the route of Konami. They decided Plinko machines and hotels were the way to go. And then they're like, wait, maybe we should come back into the gaming business. But we got rid of everything. Konami, though, hasn't gotten rid of everything. They just said, we have really good IPs and we're just going to sit on them forever. But they are trying to do some things with them. But yeah, I would like to see Atari. It's surprising that like Nightdive didn't get bought by like Embracer Group or something like that, and not Atari. That seems like it does seem like that's Atari's fit, right? Oh, you do old games new, great. You should come. We'll buy you.
Do I have a job for you?
Yeah, exactly. But it's like you're exactly right. They may not give, and probably won't give, Nightdive the opportunity to make new games or something new, right? I mean, I'm sure remakes and remasters seem to be their bread and butter, but with a new group, like if they went with Embracer or something else, we might potentially see something new, right? They get the funding from the Embracer Group or whatever to say, hey, make something new, and then we could see if Nightdive can take a new idea and create something really cool out of it, right? And that could be a great studio that people enjoy seeing their next games from. Otherwise, I'm afraid Pat's right. We're going to see a bunch of Atari remasters and remakes of just some of the games that they still own, right? So, I mean, they've already done that with Breakout and Asteroids and stuff like that. They did those recharged versions, which were upgraded versions. Nightdive didn't do those, but, yeah, unfortunately, they got rid of a lot of their great, but they did buy just recently, 15 old games, I think.
Well, plus they're pumping out mobile stuff too. They're still doing the Roller Coaster Tycoon Touch and all that kind of stuff, which, I mean, they're making money. I think the last earnings report they did, they were in the 20 million in revenue. So they're making money. It's just, they're making money by mobile games and reselling their old crap again in new ways. I mean, the stuff they made looks awesome. I mean, their re-releasing of the cartridges and the new artwork and all that stuff was cool, but I want something to play.
I want a new Centipede game where I play the Centipede. You put that out there.
It's a human centipede. They did come out with those, like I said, those recent remakes of Centipede and Asteroid and stuff. Those are really
everything's
cool.
all neon, and they were fun. Yeah,
they're a lot of fun. But those are just rehashes, kind of like a different look at those same games, right? I mean, they are different than the original Centipedes and stuff. They're not just all basic, but they added new things and look to it and stuff like that. So those are really cool games. But yeah, I would love to see Atari, do some new stuff, put out some new IPs, hopefully they'll buy, maybe if they're going to be buying developers, maybe they'll buy a different developer that doesn't make remakes and remasters and does new stuff, or maybe they'll allow Nightdive to do something new, after System Shock, so we'll have to see. Do you guys have anything else you want to say about this?
Bring on Asteroids 2025.
Ooh, a new Asteroids where you play the asteroid.
You're going to hit those ships. Yeah, target those ships.
Target the ships. Roll your asteroid straight to the ship. It's all 3D. You get to see everyone scream inside as the asteroid as you get closer to the ship. No one can hear you scream in space. That'll be the tagline for it. All right. All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Let us know down in the comments below. What do you think of Atari buying Nightdive? And are you excited for the System Shock remake? Let us know down in the comments below. Other than that, make sure to subscribe if you're not already. That'll help us out a lot if you could subscribe. If you're not subscribed, if you made it to the end, you might as well hit the subscription button and be subscribed to us. You can get updates on new videos that we do all the time during the week. There's always at least one video that goes out pretty regularly. It's quite a few that come out during the week. So, always check back. But thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.